Hi, welcome to the launch of my chapbook, Microsporidial. Thank you for coming along. I know it's been a bit of a tricky road and this is the third time lucky, but I'm absolutely happy to be here. Today I'm going to be joined with some of my favourite poets and friends, E.P. Jenkins, Kat Chong and Chloe Proctor. Just, I guess, some notice board things. We're still looking out for submissions for our rewilding anthology, and we've had some really exciting submissions so far, so please do keep them coming in. I'm having an operation on Wednesday and I'm gonna have to lay in bed for hours and hours and hours, so reading your lovely poems is definitely gonna make a whole lot of difference to me. I'm just gonna jump straight in and introduce EP. EP is a poet and artist from London and the founding member of the Crested-tit collective. She is currently on the MA Poetic Practice course at Royal Holloway. She works with concrete poetry, digital poetics, and collage. EP aims to create work within and generated by networks. Her book's works can be found in the Wellcome Library, Senate House Library, and the National Poetry Library, as well as on her website. She's a big witchy weirdo inspired by folklore, medical history, and the desire to bring back the feminine and the queer to ecological understanding. Please welcome Emma.
Hello. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm coming through, but we'll go with it. Perfect. Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for coming to celebrate Briony's wonderful, beautiful chapbook. I've got it here. I love it. I'm just flexing. So I'm gonna start by reading two poems that are on theme. So the first one is about a rabbit. And it's called Migraine. Not that I think rabbits are migraines, I think they're lovely. Okay, so there is a rabbit growing in the rift between two vertebrae of the witch's spine. It tests its new muscles by shakily flexing little legs wrapped in oiled fur, wetted by spinal fluid. It floats in amniotically. C3 and C4 roll and crack while small paws look blindly for more room, awkwardly shifting cartilage and sloshing the witch into seasickness. Make a burrow in her muscle chasm, sweet rabbit, says the witch to her passenger, but please stay calm. It is the desired effect of valerian root, dried and ground, wet, sweet, and cold. She will lay on it face down in the back garden and encourage dirt to fill her eyes and ears. If she did it in the front garden, the neighbors would talk, and she doesn't need to focus too hard for the talk to become squawk of schools of birds that fly from the cracks behind her ears, which the soil could not plug. Scared away by the rabbit's growing anger, quelled a little by the scraping of rough porcelain against willow bark, the crone told the witch that it's the daughter of aspirin. That will never numb her to the look of pink flesh of tree under screwdriver. That's number one. And the other poem, which I wrote in response to Briony's work, and I'm going to see if I can share the screen so you can see it. Can you see it? Yes, good. It's called Yeast, and that is definitely not a dig at Briony and her lack of gluten. It was a total accident. So this is a poem I wrote in response to Briony's use of images of spores and microbes in her lovely new chapbook. So puff excess into sticky mass, tuck tight top bacterium, round and resting belly, she is a single-celled fungus. Air cells in a mug with a chicken on it, bubblegum like mother, the mother rustic, rusty, orange, flaking, belly, bubble, elastic lump, a hairline, liquid leech, sea foam, dense, diving hands, oiled, frothy, stretch marks, glade, grab, water. So that's me all done. Thank you. And now I'm going to introduce the lovely and wonderful Kat Chong. So Cat is a transcultural twister child negotiating an embodied rejection of the fixity and belonging. I'm so sorry, I should have practiced beforehand. They're a graduate of the Poetic Practice MA at Royal Holloway, currently doing a PhD on global female authored illness narratives at Nanyang Technological University in Singapore. They're a proud queer crip, me too, rock on, and happy sacrificer of sleep for poetry, whose durational work flies away between, sorry, I haven't got my glasses on, conceptual and confessional tendencies. They have a forthcoming book chapter in Embolded, The Menopause Conversation We All Need to Have, with Flint Books, edited by Caroline Harris, which is super exciting. An upcoming extract of the master's manuscript in Ache magazine, issue 3, which is also super exciting, and have recently published in Permeable Barriers, an online journal created by J.D. Hughes, which, guess what, it's also amazing. So welcome, Kat. Yay.
Hey, I don't know if you can see me. Emma, I think you might still be sharing your screen, lovely.
Sorry.
While that's happening, like, I do just want to say, like, I absolutely adore Microsporidial. Like, to consider kind of imbricating intimacies between animal and like human and like non-human animal bodies, I think is wonderful. And to kind of take that domestic sphere and completely put it into kind of like the daily rhythms, like care and those practices of care that happen between bodies, I think is really lovely. And I adore the word Bryce. So thank you for letting me be here. And thank you for that introduction. And like, I don't mind. I'm sorry. I should probably make my I should probably make it a little bit simpler. In that vein, I'm going to be reading some new work. Actually, love letters, which has never happened before. I've done anti-love poetry. I haven't actually seriously done it yet, so this is going to be fun. Yeah, let's see how this goes. This is Dear Lettera 32, otherwise Gaelic Love Letters for Typewriter. Yeah. Dear Lettera 32, how much force is required to move forward, to cross across the page, a measurement of distance, a haunt ink mess, this constant curling here. My vocabulary is a necessity of compression, along straight lines, all maintaining parallels. A leaf fell off the lime tree while you were gone. Maybe this, a language is a type of force. Fuck, maybe this is what the blonde poets knew about. There's something wonderful about the mechanism, about being an idealized pacifist, about putting Trump to death slowly with nasal surgery, pillow talk. I think turpitude sounds better when you say it out loud, like watching paper straighten in the afternoon humidity. This makes me care less about mistakes. I am making word marks out of meaning and metal. It is not silent. In this, Singapore is a terminal velocity. It's looking for examples to be made out of you and me. In these are small times of keeping. I know you will not stay forever, that there will be a goodbye. Hope your leaving will not be quiet. Hope I will miss you. Every day I will miss you. Dear Lettera 32, is this a poem that I'm writing for you, leaving language where I can see it? Where is the paper going? Reach inside and touch the ink with my fingers. All this, an analogue of machine parts. The ink, arc, red and black tape, this density and convoluting. I wish you would always be within 2 minutes of distance. How will I get the paper out? Slowly turning backwards, falling out is the opposite circulation. You make the best pancakes. I feel safer knowing that you're here. Your eyes are so startlingly blue. You're into trouble in my nightmares. Sorrow and rage are appropriate. Ariana Barnes, May 19th, 5:05 a.m. I know I'm probably saying it wrong. We have a human debt of solidarity. I don't want to make my success. Success is unforgivable. Designate your bookshelves a place of worship to see you again, a part of poet family, of language instead of blood, this strange accretion of speech. Dear Lettera 32, I'm mutable, leaving the space for less than 3 hours a week, waiting on the surface of the secret machine for ending, something that I'm hiding. The poem, a suspension space, somewhere to go for renewal. You're the only one I've seen. You're the only one in my dreams now. Writing this way means I can never see the line that came before. The poem becomes part of the surprise. You want to fuck with it, don't you? Yes, yes. Yes, is dropping or being dropped one by one, lost spaces containing everything I am dropping, all the bowls, mugs, cups, saucers, glasses. I don't remember how the poem started. Something untraceable, maybe on an extra-verbal level. Hope, can you feel me? These small aggregates, each one a deep secret, something crepuscular like depths or twilight. The book, Norman Russell, to this typewriter you lent me. To these months of silence, words with nowhere else to go. I give my eyes over to rest, no longer able to hold them apart. It is dawn and I have not slept. For 3 months I've had the moon in my eyes. I know I could tell the different shades of the sky at night, just before dawn, all this red light rising. Dear Latera 32, I have seen you, so my nightmares say that you'll kill me with both your hands. It's getting hard to hide how tired I am. If I am awake, I am writing to you and the possibility of sleep. To sing myself away and give myself over. I think I can't give anyone anything, whoever it is. I wish I could remember. My body's filled over, holding something together. I don't know how to name anyone anymore. I am always writing my way out, but more and more I am writing to be someplace closer to you. In my work, the way is frequently associated with departure. I welcome this new relationship with a kind of arrival. Dear Latera 32, how are you? I feel like an immensity. Dear Latera 32, I'm still thinking about death, an aortic aneurysm, blood in his face where space should be, legs and feet blistering from newly acquired lack, to enter feet first, walking into it without saying goodbye, with only momentum and no way out. I think you'll always be there. In those rooms where he turns wood and bone, you have a voice like liquid silk. I've said my prayer. I'm not going to pontificate. Ariana Ryan's June 2nd. She is right when she says everything is on fire. The construction of white innocence, indeed. Ariana Ryan's June 4th. To have my hair cut is to lose what I want to be lost and at the same time to be touched again. Dear Latera 32, I've never been awake for so many sunrises. My eyes are all the way open. Is poetry like this dreaming for a new kind of consciousness? I wish it would stop. The nerve of my eyes just keep twitching. I wish all over again. To scroll backwards up the page is to fly backwards in time. To recall your blue eyes smiling. The birds are calling out and it is dawn again. I try screaming behind a reusable cloth mask. I make as much sound as a whimper. I accidentally cut my tongue lifting a craft knife. In the mirror, I stare at the owner of my face and watch it bleed an image of self-consumption, the poem, an act of salvage, a kind of treachery into unsafe language I am still writing in hope, survival. To type on a typewriter is to make the poem an extended uncurling, with each punched in letter reading the outline behind the impression of the last, a poetry of continuous indentation, staring at the page as it rolls back into obscurity. Dear Latera 32, I'm writing on the back of spare paper, name of life to be insured. For this reassurance, please turn over. I will be okay, please just turn over and go back to sleep. Dear Latera 32, being awake is a real thing. There are so many ways in which I'd rather just sleep for many hours on end till I could call myself a longitude. This is obviously a metaphor for a kind of hanging up, like the telephone or a pole, a type of alignment this way or that, in which I have a decent idea as to how many directions there are at the start. I'm writing on this another scrap, the back of a financial tubing. Does that make this a statement or another kind of steamrolling? I'm never entirely sure what to do with my weight, my altered sense of gravity. I should go back to sleep. Maybe this is all just a way to get back there for another few impermanent hours. Dear Latera 32, at 9:30 p.m. I exit my room to see small red ants collecting in the space just past my doormat. By 2:45 a.m. they are gone. I'll never know what they have carried away, or if they were ever really there to begin with. Dear Latera 32, I send a message to you. I'm surprised you see it. I'm surprised that you're right there. You say nothing. I can feel you smiling. I am, yet I envy this, your ability to say nothing. Dear Latera 32, The flying ants are back. I didn't see them arrive. I pulled back the curtains, opened the windows. For the ants, I am perpetually opening windows. In my night, these sequences, letters written on your machine, they're still all yours. Dear Letter 32, what's the worst that could happen remains my least loved question. I cannot leave this room full of my answers. Risk is an embodiment of precarity. I see a doctor because I have run out of options. I write better when no one is listening. The serial force of the utterance appearing on paper, the poem punched in. To want my body is to want, at least desire, something to love me back. Dear Letter 32, I must ask to become a medical subject after I said I would do this no more. Perhaps being at risk is to always be begging for my life, one way or another. I stay awake for another 24 hours without sleep. My mouth is full of frangipanis, blossoms, blossoms, blossoms. I think I can see something burning in the distance, something like a fire flickering on the underside as thick clouds gathered. I return to the window a moment later, and the light is gone. I wonder if it was ever really there. On page 68 of my life, Lynn Haginian says, "As for we who love to be astonished, the night is lit." Dear Letter 32, the worst part of this irony is staged in places of risk and fate. I feel my way through my face faster than yours, as though my fate might be your fault, body bound up in the affect of our combined dreamings, this inarticulate connection of precarity and worry, away through all these hours of waking, waiting to be sent, read, responded to. Dear Letter 32, I'm trying to believe in destiny. In my body, it's containing energy more than exhaustion. There isn't a single pharmacy on the island that supplies the medication I need. I have to go to the hospital. An attempt at access the ironic juxtaposition of risk by medication is nothing short of astounding. Don't talk to me about supply chains and capitalist violence and incoming. I don't remember the last place for the poem to come from. The acoustic analogue of the typewriter, this percussive record, each word pushed out of its page, each ink tapping a memory ongoing. Perhaps this, my alphabet has become a recollection of force. My necessary travel is to SGH, Singapore General Hospital. When I am leaving, I pass. An old man dies for Chinese Singaporean, leaning on the arm of his wife, in a t-shirt that read, "Hugs, not drugs." I keep my head down, collected my own chemical self-care after 4 months missing. Each caretaker is equivalent to drug taker, each opioid, each hug, and ingesting of the same kindness. Dear Letter 32, I don't want to be in a sweatplane anymore. This reality is constraint, an audience of no one. For this to work, one of us has to be hopeless, or at least romantic. I don't believe this. I don't know why I'm here. I can only hope that you do too. Oh, thank you. Right. I've now got the absolute pleasure of introducing Chloe Proctor, who's, I'm just waiting for you to see this background. It is just absolutely sick. Chloe Proctor is a London-based poet. Her work is situated in response to contemporary classic theory and is developed on Royal Holloway's Poetic Practice MA programme. She considers her practice to exist in the sonic realm of involute soil poetics, read Donna Haraway. She's interested in interjections, clashing discourses, soil, fungus, and semantic nest-making. Her work has appeared in Azimuth, The Ecology of an Ear, Alterity, and Cornerstone Press's contemporary poetry series, Nature and Language, as well as many self-published artists' books. She's also a massage therapist at Kaima. Welcome, Chloe.
Hi. I'm going to assume that's all working fine. Yeah, great. Thanks, Kat. Intros are really long, and I got a lovely little tweet notification from Miss Briony Hughes earlier. Someone had asked when they think of nature and language poetry, who do they think of? And she very kindly said, Chloe Proctor brackets, specifically fungus. So I'm considering changing my poet's bio to Chloe Proctor brackets, specifically fungus, and just leaving it at that. This background, thank you, Kat, for the compliment, is from my artist's book, Sepatrophic. which you can find at chloeproctor.me. I am delighted to be here celebrating Microsporidial, which you can't see because my computer is picking everything up as a green screen, but I do own it and it is really good. And I'm specifically pleased to be launching this because I have been, I'm going to assume affectionately dubbed the fungal poet in Crested-tit. I am obsessed with spores, and it's really nice that so many of us are able to write such differentiating things about spores, fungus, microbes, etc. Mine tends to be from a more political standpoint recently, and on that I'm going to read something fairly new, and it's kind of let me just share my screen real quick. It's kind of an extension of a project that I did on the Poetic Practice Masters program a little while ago, and it's called Spores. And the idea was that it was a bunch of found text from botany journals, and it would then be injected with semi-randomly occurring kind of connective words, connected from grammar. And it became this bot. So I ended up kind of writing the grammar for this bot, which is tweeting out spore-like little chance-based poems every hour on the hour. And I've been thinking a lot about how that interacts in a digital space, which is largely driven by political dissent, political opinion. And so I've kind of been working through them, picking out definitions of words that might not be in everyone's kind of discourse, because they're from botany journals, and using that to write through a kind of manifesto. They sort of appear to me, the more I read them, as instructions on how to live as spore, on how to exist currently at this moment in time on our planet. So I'm gonna read through these. Outward developing above Holocene optical microscope, still further, more food security, a cropital, could capitulate what a Eastern language both fodder. Oh, excuse me, lads. Bear with 1 second. There we go. Acropital growth of dissolvement of fluids to the apices, point of growth of root or shoot, and Avestan meaning relating to the Avesta or to the ancient Iranian language in which it is written, closely related to Vedic Sanskrit. Transcendent root, be organic film between Holocene and future, be a future. Beyond the divine, zoom in instead on terror, feed the apices your thick grammar. Mycologist as well as apophysis fodder, beyond I, biophysics axial, whereas radical like live cell imaging for foliolate. Mycology is the branch of biology concerned with the study of fungi. Apophysis is a swelling at the base of the sporangium, which is a receptacle in which asexual spores are formed in some mosses. Foliolate meaning relating to or consisting of leaflets. Beyond I, proposition we as swelling point, from which disseminate radical like the mutable cell. Be foliolate, be multi-pronged, multi-directional. Sustainability for Comos sociology, along with between self-pollinating econometrics and community that micro-propagation rather than erosion. Comos meaning bearing a tuft of soft hairs as in comos seeds. Econometrics, the use of mathematical methods, especially statistics, in describing economic systems, and micropropagation, meaning the propagation of plants by growing plantlets in tissue culture and then planting them out. First grow small in the culture, to then intercept, space between an economy self-pollinating and society threading. Blister as hornworts, community nor as much parasitology, mineralogy soon, phyto in case fungi, she plant hormone. Hornworts, a submerged aquatic plant with narrow forked leaves that become translucent and horny as they age, occurring worldwide. Phyto meaning other plants pertaining to plants. Blister as hornwort, fawny community inflating, feed from the host, the mineral stock unfairly hoarded. What grows from your body chemistry? Cortisol, let your body rage. Ethnography, whether acid metabolism, polymath with how basifixed horticulture along with chlorophyta, us pineapple, I organism. Basifixed in botany meaning attached at the base, and chlorophyta meaning a division of lower plants that comprises green algae. Metabolism of knowledge ever growing, overgrow acidic elite posturing. We basifixed on terror, we in undergrowth brambling, we plenty, we organism. Thanks so much. I am now going to read something very new and very kind of unusual for me. It's kind of a lyric poem, so we'll see how that goes. And it's called Here the Water is Clean and Soft. Here the water is clean and soft. Fungal filaments have been found to mine, fish, swim, climb and hunt, have been found to bank and distribute. So why is she always in the shape of a shape who, strobing, apparent at all times, she wears it on the tip of her nose in balancing repose. In fact, she is always wanting to launch forth from the place in which she stands. Too often it is not weed. It is tearing the feet away from the earth with a ripping sound and replacing with the other only to return once more knotted. To be found in the morning when the appendages have yet to know what it is that will make them feel like the fungus. I feel most calm when the treetops are at their wildest, beaten in the face with splashes that hang a millimetre from the flesh as a wrapping. I am solving the issues of the morning in time to be able to get some rest, and the rest is undoing me constantly. If I were fungus, I would act. I would enact a humble purpose dedicated to the life-giving resource bank of others. I would bank, I am banking, my faith is economic. There are systems too large and self-preserving. There is too hardy a venous system. The cardiacs of the system are too indebted to each other to tell the other stop. Look at what the blood pumps. Still, I efface myself into perversion. I do not know if I want or want to be him, universally speaking. Every time it happens, I am overwhelmed by how unassured, how jealous, how I wish I could activate the way he appears to. Everybody is wanting for something, and I am not sure what is left to want anymore. Every public action feels like assault, which is not right, which is ego, which I'm trying to get rid of altogether. I think I would be happier if I could only be mulched. I do not know what to do with all the love I have for all of you. I do not know what to do with the space where I was supposed to be holding grief, but I didn't. Now it is too late. It is too unorthodox to grieve retroactively. There is a time and place for performative mourning. There is a time and place to sob into black Victorian lace and announce that I will no longer eat anything in which there is garlic. It is too late to admit that the loss is a symbol, the he, universal. Olam she, olam she, olam she, tatat olam. How dare you be so clear? Thanks so much. I am now going to introduce the star of the show, Briony Hughes. Briony is a Techne AHRC funded doctoral researcher based at Roy Holloway. She is interested in the possibilities of kinetic movement in language, water bodies, the archive and site-specific writing, and is currently working toward a PhD which considers the movements of water which occur on both the molecular and geographic scale as structural, linguistic and philosophical models for poetry. Briony's publications include Dorothy, published by Broken Sleep Books 2020, and Microsporidial, published by Sampson 2020. Her work has been featured in Data Bleed, Permeable Barrier, Stride magazine, and Decorating Dissidents, amongst others. Her limited edition book works have been collected by Book Art Bookshop, Senate House Library, National Poetry Library, and the Foyle Special Collections at King's College London. She's a founding member of the Crested-tit Collective and curates the Crested-tit pamphlet series. She is a very accomplished bitch. Please welcome Briony Hughes.
Hi, thank you, Chloe. Thank you for your reading. That was bloody fantastic. I really liked being able to see the screen, that PowerPoint presentation that you made, and how the language kind of comes out of that bot. That was just, it was fantastic. And thank you, Kat and EP, for reading as well. I'm so grateful. I don't have words here. I'm so grateful that you're here supporting me. And also just a quick shout out to Tesse and Tunisia, who are lurking in the background. Thank you for being here as well. Not to embarrass you. So I'm going to read from Microsporidial, and I just want to say that the book is it's illustrated by Ellie Arden, and she is an absolutely incredible artist, and I highly recommend checking out her work. And if I'd been prepared enough, like the rest of my co-hosts today, I would have made a little PowerPoint to be able to show you her art, but instead I'm just going to flip the book around and put it on the screen, and hopefully that should be okay. Just another thing to note, you can buy the book from the Sampson Low website, or if you just message me, I'll pop it in the post for you as well, if you want it. You might not after this reading, who knows. So yeah, just to introduce the book, it is a meditation on the impact of an E. caniculi infection in my rabbit honey. And essentially E. caniculi is quite a bad thing for rabbits to get. It leads to things such as brain and spinal cord injuries, head tilt, paralysis, tremors, cataracts, and renal failure. But honey, despite absolutely all odds, got through her illness in the winter. Oh, sorry, that's my printer just going to sleep. Oops. So this collection of micro poems, they kind of explore the intimacies between a range of bodies, animal, human, parasite, and water. And they were going to be private, but honey just kept fighting. So you can blame honey for this book. Okay. Oh, and here's the cover. Oh no, cover. Yeah. Oh, I should have thought through the background as well. Oh well, we'll work with it. 9 gulps until reflex prevents further inhalation, feeling that rock in your neck, gaseous or remaining, where your ear bubbles are, tickle the uvula. This chest is half full. Lip slit vades, head tilted, concerns or spores on the brain, slipped into her periphery, slightly off balance, but not quite, they lap from the same body. And there's the first piece of art. Bathing in an early hour until 111 suggests re-entry, the womb, the gallbladder, these cells lifted beyond our exteriors. Red lights, the tree spurs, not essential, twitch that nose against plastic shapes, question these circles. Honey or lemon commitment, keep 13 minutes, discuss wasabi, discuss water, discuss bags as lower abdomen cools. Excess demands a urine pigment lopping onto her side. She can still reach those seeker troughs. The pituitary is triggered to withdraw conversation. Press head to minimize kick, wrap in hand towel, turn to face, reach for gums, insert, liquid over, tongue let her gulp as she hides beneath cabinets. An ideal humidity is exhibited between the toe, no line to draw saliva drumming between these ears. In box but lights are on, distanced I eat beetroot to match her. A pack of water to heat a body, regulation of these futures. Metacam is a painkiller for dogs. Willow is a natural source of aspirin. Information can be retained in crisis. Slow blink of the eye, table seated, stabilize ourself with an ear cannula and or blueberries. Euphanize towel, threads and pines, meet digestive tract, she will never be bunged. This is really cute. I just want to emphasize this lovely picture of honey. Cups absent at walk-in, no matter the other side of the world is burning. Access supervision, await unification. The vet knows she's bonded. This comes as a pleasant surprise. Ear choreographed by heart beating, sit tight. You can hear each trickle and the nose is still twitching. Thank you. And that's the end of this launch. Thank you for coming. Thank you for waiting. I know it's been a few weeks, but I'm glad we finally got here. Yeah, just thank you. Bye. Oh, my hand's not, there we go. You can see it. And I'm going to try and turn this off now. Bye.